What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. If you guys were around YouTube around like the early 2010s, you must have seen TEYANA Taylor on a number of old channels that really used to pop back in the day. Channels like maybe Sneaker Watch, Nice Kicks, of course, and maybe some others. But today, we're taking a look at TEYANA Taylor's first Air Jordan collaboration. This one is many years in the making, and it's going to be a fun story to tell. Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2 by TEYANA Taylor. What a moment this is for sneakers. Like I said, I don't know if you guys really understand how monumental this is, because I understand that a lot of people who watch YouTube today weren't really watching YouTube 10 years ago, and that's okay. I'm gonna give you guys a little history lesson about what sneakers used to look like back in the day. But before we get into the sneaker, we gotta get into the box. All right, for these, you got a custom box, and the theme of the sneaker, of course, is roses. With TEYANA Taylor coming from Harlem, New York, she calls herself the rose that grew from the concrete. As a matter of fact, that's literally on the box itself. It says, "From the concrete grew a rose," going all the way around the box. And on the lid of the box here, of course, the gold swoosh made to look like a rose with thorns. You also have a gold reflective T on this side of the lid. You also have the Ball and Wings Air Jordan logo in gold on that side of the lid. Let's get to the shoe. Now, starting with the upper of the shoe. Now, the first thing about this shoe, because it is a Zoom Comfort 2, it's built a little bit differently from a traditional Air Jordan OG 1 High. But to me, I actually like that, because the Zoom Comfort 2 looks a little bit more like an Air Jordan 1 OG. Now, with that, you have some really dope details in the shoe, but the first thing, of course, we got to talk about is the materials. The leather itself, very, very nice. Now, here's the thing about the leather itself. The leather is very pliable, it's very soft, and I like that, because with this being a Zoom Comfort 2, we have to remember that TEYANA Taylor is an actress, a rapper, and of course a choreographer. She's a dancer. So you would want a sneaker that's very light, very breathable, and very comfortable. So to me, that's why it makes a lot of sense why they chose the Zoom Comfort 2. But with that, the material's very nice. You guys can even see how the leather here kind of folds in. The leather is really nice here. It feels kind of premium, and it actually feels good for $150. So whether or not the leather truly is good, or it's just got a ton of treating on it that makes it feel super soft, either way it goes, I'm not complaining. Now, the collar of the shoe, you got a little bit of crack leather, and you also see that going down right above the quarter panels of the shoe as well. Moving down from there, of course, you have the embroidered swoosh. This really nice kind of silk feeling embroidery here with the green silk embroidered thorns coming out of it as well. Bright red on the collar of the shoe, but it actually has a really dark, almost maroon or brown looking color wrapping around the heel as well. I like that. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here. You'll notice in the toe box you have X's instead of the normal dots that would go in the toe box here. Moving up from there, yellow laces with the leather tongue and the tongue tag that actually has the same swoosh with the thorns in it as well. One of the first hidden details here is on the wing on the right shoe. It actually says a rose, and on the wing of the left shoe, it actually says from Harlem. So a rose from Harlem inside of the wings on the left and right sneaker. But don't worry, there's a lot of other hidden details. The two shoes are actually different. So taking a top down look at the left shoe, the first thing you're gonna notice is this really big, very heavy rose with the TT for TEYANA Taylor Dubray on the laces as well. Moving up from there, on the tongue tag of this one, you have the TEY, of course, for T or TEYANA Taylor, but this also stands for Time Evolves You, which is kind of the theme of the short film that accompanied this sneaker's release as well. In addition to those yellow laces, you're also gonna get two extra sets of laces in red and black. This little booklet gives you some more information about the Zoom Comfort 2 model itself, as well as on the inside of the box lid, it also gives you information about the entire breakdown of the shoe and how it's made. Now, of course, this is not a breakdown technology page, but I admonish you guys to go check out Wear Testers. Nightwing, Chrissy did a really great job breaking down the materials of the Zoom Comfort 2. Now, on the left shoe, you'll notice this swoosh looks a little bit different. On the right shoe, it had that stitch swoosh that looked like the rose with the thorns. On the left shoe, it has this overextended swoosh here with the zigzag stitching, and you can flip the leather of the swoosh up to reveal another hidden message that says the last rose. Sail colored midsole with this red and yellow outsole, but the yellow here is a proprietary foam called Formula 23. You can actually press it in, and it's actually very soft here, so makes the shoe that much more comfortable. On the heel of the outsole, you have three roses as well. Now, in my opinion, I think this stands for her husband Iman and her kids Rue Rose and Junie. Now, I could be wrong, but three roses, three other people in her family, I don't know. And last but certainly not least, custom insoles with the TEY for Time Evolves You or Teyana Taylor, and of course, the swoosh with the thorns. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Teyana Taylor Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2. Now, let me go back in time a little bit and maybe you guys will understand a little bit more why this sneaker is as special as it is. Teyana Taylor is an icon when it comes to fashion, sneakers, and streetwear. If you guys aren't hip, Teyana Taylor really was at the forefront of a lot of really hot brands back in the early 2000s and early 2010s. Now, Teyana's career is a bit interesting because a lot of people thought that really she got famous from being on My Super Sweet 16, but she actually was signed to Pharrell's Star Trek label before she filmed the show and during the filming of the show. Teyana always wanted to be a musician. She wanted to be a singer, and she actually had some rap in her as well. So when Pharrell signed her to Star Trek back in the day, it was assumed that she was gonna have a debut album, and her debut single, Google Me, was okay, but admittedly, it was not her favorite song. Her favorite song that she had at the time was actually a song called Swag. Nevertheless, Teyana Taylor would stay on with Star Trek for another 6 years, and she would also do a lot of other things like dancing and choreography, and of course, she was always in the latest and flyest brands. Now, I'm talking back during the Crooks and Castles days. You guys may not have been hip to Crooks and Castles back in the day, but back when brands like Civil was popping and LRG was really popping off, and Crooks and Castles and Truck Fit and all these other brands, Teyana Taylor was really at the forefront of showing off a lot of those brands. Now, unfortunately, Teyana never had an album that came out under Star Trek, and she ended up signing on with Kanye West's Good Music label. Now, underneath Kanye's label, she came out with some of her biggest and best projects that she's ever come out with, starting with the album 7, which was a really dope album, and then from there, she had KTSC, Keep the Same Energy, and then finally, she had an album that was literally called The Album. Teyana Taylor had a lot of hits. Teyana Taylor had a lot of collaborations in the sneaker world. She had a collaboration with Adidas that was called the GLC, that even though it was designed as a women's sneaker, actually a lot of the guys wanted to wear it as well. So this isn't anything new with men wanting to wear women's sneakers. If it's fly enough, the fellas are gonna wanna wear it. Now, unfortunately, due to a kind of messy situation that went down with Rihanna around the time where Rihanna and Chris Brown had their whole fallout, Teyana unfortunately got dropped from Adidas as a result of some things that she had said on social media, but that didn't stop her. One thing about Teyana Taylor, she was resilient, and she went on to do other sneaker collaborations with brands like Ewing Athletics and even with Reebok for her own All Red Question Mid. But even in the midst of having all those collaborations and pushing all that product out, she still always had her sights set on Jordan Brand. And not only that, but she actually said in an interview with Hip Hop Since 1987 that she always wanted to make her own Jordan collaboration, and Michael Jordan even was hiring her himself to host the Jordan Brand Classic every year. But no matter the work that she was doing with Jordan Brand or the product she was promoting for Jordan Brand, she never got her own sneaker. Until now. Teyana Taylor was always kind of seen as hip hop's little sister. Like, she never really had her own moment that was truly in the spotlight, truly in the limelight. It always felt like she never really got her just due. So I think that's what makes this sneaker so special, is that Teyana finally not only got her just due with getting her own apparel capsule and getting her own sneaker, but she finally has something that is all hers with the brand that she has been trying to work with for literally over a decade. It's a home run for me. I know that a lot of people just looking at the sneaker itself forget Teyana Taylor. If you're not a fan of Teyana Taylor and you're just looking at the shoe itself, it might be a little bit jarring. It's a lot to it. It's a lot of different colors. It's a lot of different design elements. And hey, you know what? It's not for everybody. But for me, I think this was definitely a must cop. And if you guys are wondering why this sneaker is worth so much money right now on the resale markets and the bigger sizes are going for over double right now retail price, it's because there are a lot of people that are really big fans of Teyana Taylor that kind of saw Teyana evolve both in sneakers and streetwear. Now that she has her own Air Jordan 1 and rumored to have her own Air Jordan collection coming yet again pretty soon, it's just a really powerful, monumental moment for people that have been fans of hers. So if you're wondering why the prices look the way that they do, and if you're not hip to Teyana Taylor, hopefully today gave you a little bit more insight into why these sneakers are worth as much as they're worth and why these are as special as they are. I don't know if these are gonna make it on my top 10 list of the year. They may, because it's a really special project, but it's still kind of early to tell. We're only halfway through the year. We got a lot more to go. But enough of me talking. talking. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down below and let me know what you guys think of the TEYANA Taylor Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2. Are these ones that you guys added to your collection? Did you buy them to flip them because you saw there was a little bit of money in them? Or did you pass on them altogether? Sound off down below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2 by TEYANA Taylor, and until next time, I'm out.